I'm very, very happy about the outcome because I think what we did today is going to be seen over many years and many decades as a turning point in California, a time when we decided to say yes to hope, yes to progress, yes to the future. And I'm very, very pleased. When did I know? It's been, when you look at the vote card and the vote count, we had, my three colleagues who were pretty consistently no on the project. And then you had Senator Pavley, who did not vote no. Did vote no, and I understood. Let me just put it that way. So really, I was down to, there was no room to spare. Had to get everybody else. And, a lot of conversation, a lot of talk, a lot of just listening to people as well and hearing their concerns. And in the end, I urged my colleagues in the same way I expressed it here on the floor, that while there are risks, the risks are even greater in not moving forward. And I believe that. I think that this is going to be a real infusion of energy and dollars to create jobs, to help the Central Valley, and to get started. Once you get started on something like this too, of course there's always risk, but once you show that commitment, it's hard not to finish it. And we have to do what some of the critics have said now. We need to oversee this very, very carefully. And we have to begin fighting for the next opportunity there is for dollars to think about the extension. And it's to think about the extensions. Don't forget that we have allocated now, as a result of today's actions, about $4.7 billion from the bond. We still have over $5 billion left. And this isn't the end. This is the beginning of the biggest, boldest public works project in decades in California. And this is a great shot in the arm.
What's your context debate when you knew it was going to pass?
I had a pretty good idea going into the debate, but not until just before I walked onto the floor here today.
You mentioned it's one of the biggest
yes.
in the last couple of decades. Can you put it in context in California history? What compares to something like this? Well,
the state water project, which the governor has talked about, was an ambitious. Some said you can't do it; it's too expensive. Back when his father was governor. And I think this is really on par with that kind of vision. And like I said, I've said it in a couple of different ways. What is difficult and sometimes unpopular and controversial in the short run often becomes the greatest source of pride and progress years later. And that's how I feel about this. And I know the controversy about the particular alignment, but I have to tell you, I'm bullish on the Central Valley. We ought to be investing resources in the areas of this state that need it the most. And hard to make a case that the Central Valley has not been hardest hit by the economic woes, and they need this. But it's not just the Central Valley. That's the thing. This project transformed. It's half high-speed rail, and it's about half major transportation investment in other parts of the state. So,
how do you turn around the public perception of this now, especially in light of the taxpayer?
Well, I think in part we rebranded as something more than just high-speed rail. It's not just high-speed rail. It is transportation investment in the heart of Northern and Southern California, and will benefit everybody in the state. We took the hard vote, and that we invested in the future. I think the federal government, whether it's next year or the year after, will be responsive to that.
When will the public see the first physical?
Well, some of the connectivity money and the so-called bookend money is ready to be let. Some of these projects are what they call shovel ready. So I think you'll begin seeing the impact of some of these dollars, I would hope, within this calendar year.
So did you just say, excuse me, did you say that actually you're going to, assuming Obama is elected, you're going to ask for more money?
Yes.
How much more?
I don't know exactly how much more, but we know that the next stage of the high-speed rail part of this project is to connect one of the Central Valley ends to either Northern or Southern California. We often talk about the Bakersfield to Palmdale extension. That's certainly one that everyone has looked at and we would look at favorably. And so look, you can never finish something unless you are willing to get started. And you know, the argument again about risk can be flipped around, because without saying yes, you guarantee that you're not going to be able to attract more investment to improve California's transportation network. And I think that since California is one, not shy, and two, often sort of sets the tone and the pace when it comes to different parts of national policy, the fact that we stepped up and we said yes, I know will bear fruit. Will bear fruit down the line.
And no worries about
Thanks, Chris.
the tax initiative, the impact on the tax initiative.
You know what? I get paid to worry about everything. So, you know, yes, worry. But I don't think it, I really think that pension reform and our overall record and the second straight on-time budget in a row, I think we end this session on a high note. With 4 more weeks to go, I think that we'll be in good, strong position come November. I just want to say, you know, for those who sometimes say, well, the legislature can't get anything done, even if it's something that, you know, is controversial, look at the last couple of weeks. Second on-time budget in a row. Balanced this year, next year, the year after, and a surplus in 2015-16. Historic foreclosure reform that passed strongly in both houses, will be signed by the governor. And now today's vote. It's like whether or not you agree with every decision or not, California's on the move. We're getting things done. Governor's in my office. I think I probably should go in and talk to the governor, huh?
We're on the move.